Hi, today I want to talk to you about forgiveness. And it's not to make you bring somebody or something that has hurt you back into your life, but that you see how holding on to that pain may be affecting you and your journey to wellness as well. So, forgiveness is making peace with your life. We're all fighting something or arguing with some aspect of our life that we didn't like. Forgiveness is resolving these arguments. Forgiveness is a full organism experience. There are 3 types of forgiveness. You have to forgive yourself, allow others to forgive you, and you have to forgive other people as well. Or you need to forgive other people as well. And like I said, it doesn't mean bringing people who have continuously hurt you back into your life, but just letting go of the pain that they've caused you. Forgiveness is an inner releasing of something we created. It's like you make a mess and you clean it up. Cleaning up the mess is forgiveness. I don't think you have to learn how to forgive yourself before you can forgive others. You can be harsh on yourself and generous towards others. And some other people let themselves off the hook for everything, but they are very hard on other people. Our biggest issue as human is that we are too self-forgiving of our terrible behavior, which causes harm to the world. We are always up in arms with people that we do or didn't do without sparing. We're always up in arms with people that hurt us without sparing a thought for people who may be going through a very difficult time. So much pain and suffering from poverty, diseases. We need to be cautious of the amount of judgment we put out there of others and how we judge other people's lack of decency. Privilege or judgment of others can be a very unfair way of looking at things. The major reason why I would like you to reconsider forgiveness is because of the correlation of adverse childhood experiences with chronic health challenges. Be careful or cautious about how you talk about your past traumas so you don't keep hurting yourself. Identifying yourself as a victim is a very delicate proposition, and to focus on your wounds rather than your strength is a delicate proposition. Whatever you blame for not having the life you should have, whatever you give that power to, diminishes who you become. Forgiveness is giving yourself permission to free yourself from that diminished stance. It never acknowledges that bad things happen or other humans do terrible things, and we make awful mistakes. These are human truths. We can say that people who had difficult childhood experiences end up with health issues. But it's not just the childhood difficulties or experiences, but the habits we created around those experiences, which don't necessarily get blamed on experience, but on adaptation, on doing things the best we can, but the habits themselves become an ongoing problem. You don't want to overemphasize the childhood experiences over the fact that you've adapted to that with some habits that only you can change. You may have had the worst parents, and maybe at the age of 18, they are responsible for about 70% of your distress. At 35 years, they are responsible for only 10% of your distress because you've lived, and you're responsible for the time you lived. So you can't continue to blame your parents for some of the things that you're still going through. Forgiveness takes over ego. It acknowledges you're a human being, and the more you react to that, the less effective you will be as human being because you're not so much in the present. So forgiveness is kind of not allowing your present state or your present life to come alive. Desmond Tutu said, if there's no forgiveness, there is no future. The question is, do you love yourself enough not to allow yourself stay stuck in the past? Which is choosing to live our past stories. Forgiveness allows you to start seeing your current life. We are so good at complaining at what happened to us. If only we can take a minute to ask ourselves, if we got out of bed today, did you have access to running water? Did you have food in the fridge? If the answers are yes, then why aren't we talking about that? We need to learn to pause in our present consciousness instead of being stuck, being a victim that needs to be rescued from our own life. Forgiveness is a pattern. It's a life pattern. It is a better habit you have, so you forgive stuff. You try not to accumulate grudges or allow life be what it is. That's the essence of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a teachable skill. The more you practice, the better you get at it. We become what we practice. I would love you to reconsider what forgiveness means to you. I would like you to bear in mind that holding on to grudge or pain or holding on to something somebody or something has done to you is like pouring or holding on to a hot coal. The only person who gets burnt is you. Why would you allow people to continue, or somebody who's hurt you to continue to hurt you long term? By all means, let go and stay away from such people. It's also a form of self-compassion to stay away from things and people who hurt you. It is not a good thing to keep going back to people who constantly hurt you just for the sake of forgiveness or for the sake of being the bigger person. It's not a good thing you're doing to yourself. Aim to let go for your own sake, because you don't want to hurt your physical and emotional health. I kid you not, holding on to pain and not finding strategies to resolve past trauma is one of the worst things you could do to yourself. The reason why we age and we suffer and we go through pain, part of the reason why we age and oxidize is because of the pain and stress we go through, the trauma we've gone through over the years, divorce, grief, loss of money, financial distress. All of these things cause us problem, and it is people or things that have caused us this pain. And sometimes when we hold on to it, we're not able to make progress in our physical, emotional, and social life. And for this reason, I encourage you to reconsider letting go so that you can make progress, so that you can live in joy and happiness. I really do wish you well on your healing journey.